Hello, I am Letiane Beninca, PhD candidate and professor at IMED in Passo Fundo, Brazil. Today, we'll talk about the strategies to promote urban cycling as a means of transportation. Urban mobility plays a relevant role in smart cities, promoting transportation modes that optimize space and energy is mandatory for city sustainability. In this context, cycling is re-emerging as a main means of transportation in most of major cities in the world. Bikes can provide low-cost and fast trips. They optimize road space when compared with motorized vehicles, promote health benefits, and do not use fossil fuels. Thus, promoting utilitarian urban cycling is one of the main strategies related to urban mobility with potential for improvement in the social, economic, and environmental aspects of urban contexts, contributing to city sustainability. However, in cities with car-oriented design, which are almost predominant in Latin America, safety concerns due to interactions with motorized traffic are one of the main obstacles to boost bicycles as a means of regular transport. In these cases, the creation of road infrastructure dedicated to cyclists, separating them from intense motorized traffic, is one of the main strategies to start increasing the attractiveness of this model. In this video, we present the guidelines to develop a cycling infrastructure network to increase the attractiveness of bike use. After this lecture, you are expected to identify the different types of cycling infrastructure and understand in which context they might be used. Among the types of lanes dedicated to the use of bicycles, they can categorize by the separation level from motorized traffic. The most common are shared lanes, cycle lanes, and cycle tracks. Shared lanes are constituted as shared roads with signs indicating the priority of bicycles in relation to the vehicles, while cycle lanes are a part of track intended exclusively for the circulation of bikes and delimited only by signaling. Finally, the cycle tracks are the type of infrastructure with physical separation for motorized traffic. Which type of cycle infrastructure should be installed in each context depends mostly on the flow and the speed of the automotive traffic on the street. Essentially, the strategy consists in increasing the level of separation of cycling infrastructure where motorized traffic is intense and speed limits are high. Following these rules, we have shared lanes might be installed on streets with low vehicular flow and speed, such as local streets and residential areas. Bike and cars can share the street space. Bike lanes on streets where the quantity or speed of cars may present risk or limited cyclist movement, lanes may be separated by the horizontal signs without physical barriers. And cycle tracks where motorized traffic is intense and with high speeds. Such as main streets or avenues, it is recommended that cycling infrastructure should be physically separated from the motorized traffic for safety reasons. The cycling network formed by the assembly of lanes dedicated to bicycle circulation must present high levels of connectivity and comprehensiveness of the urban space, to provide great accessibility of the urban territory and allow the cyclists to choose between interconnected routes. Also, the cycling network shall have a hierarchical structure that allows differentiating the use priorities according to the distance of the trips and the fluidity to be provided. The hierarchy can present two categories. Main routes provides connection within the city and peri-urban areas, linking centers, neighborhoods, towns, and cities with each other. Top local roads has a distributed function with the urban network providing connectivity to the main routes from local networks. Together with the local streets network, which doesn't necessarily need to have a cycling infrastructure, the cycling network should provide accessibility to any place in the city. For the success of a cycling network, there are 5 principles that might be taken into consideration. cohesion, directness, security, comfort, and attractiveness. Cohesion. The cycling infrastructure must form a coherent network, promoting connectivity between the different neighborhoods and land use, integrated the cycle with other modes of transport, and providing accessibility to the different urban spatial contexts, center, peripheries, historic areas, recent developments. Directness. Cycling infrastructure must provide the fastest routes for cyclists, consider all travel time, cost, minimize detours and waiting. Security. The cycling infrastructure must minimize the potential, real and perceived, of accident risk. Thus, in addition to providing safety to cyclists, it must make them feel safe. The perceived risk is one of the key barriers to cycle use and therefore must be minimized to encourage new adherents to cycling. Comfort. The infrastructure must minimize the physical and physiological stress to cyclists, providing fluidity in the movement and avoiding the need for complex maneuvers. Attractivity. The cycling network must be designed, consider the surrounding areas and, where possible, enhancing its positive aspects. In this regard, the treatment of sensor properties provided by the route, such as lighting, personal safety, visual and environmental quality must be considered. Another factor that influences the quality of cycling network is mesh width, measured by the distance between parallel routes. Closer parallel routes imply a denser network, giving to cyclists more itinerary options. Different mesh width recommendations can be found in the literature, varying between 250 meters and 500 meters. In addition to the creation of specific road infrastructure for bikes, implementing restrictive measures for car use, lowering the speed of motorized traffic, and integrated cycling with the public transportation also contribute to the convenience and safety of bicycle traffic and encourage the adoption of this sustainable transport mode. Now that you have understood the importance of cycling infrastructure to promote the use of bikes as a means of transportation, let's talk about the city where you live. Is there a cycling infrastructure network there? Let's compare different contexts on the discussion forum.